like 3 tips, each of us.
Follow my lead. Is it going?
All right. My name's Kirk Hewitt. I've been lifting for about 4 years now.
My name's Matt LaCorey. I've been lifting about the same time as Kirk. Me and Kirk actually got into lifting and bodybuilding together.
I've been lifting since I've pretty much been at college. In your busy schedule, it's really tough to try to get into the gym, like, an hour or 2 a day. And how to, find your meals, finding time between work and class, like I said, is very tough. But, once you get it in your schedule and you get a routine the first couple, 5 weeks of school, by the time your workload does pick up, your routine's solid and you just keep going with it.
There's like what Kirk does, where really if you're trying to change your physique, build some muscle, lose some fat, you're bodybuilding. You're changing your body for whatever you imagine it to be, how you want it to be. So I'm on the other end where, I really compete against others trying to bring my body to the absolute extreme. It takes into consideration your diet, weight training, very hard, extra cardio going in the morning for a cardio session. It usually takes about 12 to 20 weeks of dieting and training just for one show. So we're gonna dive right into the training that goes into bodybuilding, all right? So for every workout that you're doing, you wanna really start off with some big compound movements. That's gonna be squat on a leg day, deadlifts on a back day, bench press on a chest day, and overhead press for shoulders. And really you're gonna keep the compound movements to 3 to 8 reps and move on to some isolation movements after that in your workout.
So the isolation stuff more pinpoints muscles. You can really focus on specific parts of your body, really burn those areas out. You want to stick to maybe more 10 to 15 reps, higher ranges, because you're really looking for more of a pump rather than just getting, huge amounts of weight.
So what Kirk's talking about is getting the most out of your workout. If you're training back and biceps, you're gonna wanna have a really strong deadlift, and then you're gonna hit the isolation and work those muscles as optimally as you can in the time that you work out. So to do that, one other thing we're gonna do is look at the rest time in between sets. We wanna minimize it, less than a minute, unless it's one of your big compound movements. That can be up to 2 to 3 minutes rest, but those isolation movements, really targeting your muscles, you wanna let it rest for 30 to 45 seconds and hit it again right in your next set.
Eventually, you're gonna plateau, and that happens to everyone. Even if you're just a beginner, all the way up to advanced lifters. And really, the cure for plateaus is to mix it up, change up your workouts. If you're doing, say, one exercise at the beginning of every time, maybe do it at the end. Do it reversed. Really just confusing your muscles. You'll definitely see some gains after a long time of not seeing those gains. No one likes that.
We want to train optimally, okay? And that comes down to hitting every workout as hard as you can to get as much out of it, but not push so far that you can't do it the next day. So that's really important for the longevity. Overtraining does exist, but you have to monitor it, know what it is, and know what's right for your body. So it's when you're pushing your body too much and you can't recover. If you're feeling way too sore, if you're feeling sick, if you're just exhausted all the time outside the gym and during your workouts, you need to tone it back a bit. So that means maybe doing one less exercise, a few less reps, sets. Give yourself a rest day or two to really help yourself recover, and that is gonna ultimately keep you away from getting injuries.
And it's important to really learn and know your body after a couple months or years of training to know what your limits are and what overtraining is. A big part of bodybuilding is preventing injuries, because if you get injured, you're going to be out of the gym. If you're out of the gym, you're not going to be making any of those gains. I enforce good form when I train with people, and I think that's definitely helped me through the years, and that's kept me going, definitely.
All right, so another big aspect that we have to cover is the nutrition. Your calories, your macronutrients, that's your fats, carbs, and proteins, getting them in the right balance to have you losing fat and gaining muscle. Looking at what works for you, and then just being consistent with it along with your training, it's gonna fuel you to making those gains that ultimately we wanna make.
Some people are, go really hardcore and actually weigh everything. Some meals I do still weigh stuff, and I know Matt, when he preps for shows, he's weighing every single thing, even like ketchup and all these condiments and spices and stuff like that.
It's true.
You gotta be serious about it. But early, like I said, I've been a college student for the last couple years, so things that I like to do are just find a couple, spots and knowing how to rotate those so that you don't get too sick of them too quickly, and staying in a good mental state with how you're eating.
All right, so we've covered a lot that has to do with bodybuilding, the training, the nutrition. It's very important, but that comes down to a huge mind game, to figuring out how it's gonna work for you to stay consistent, and then doing that, making adjustments and always trying to get better in every aspect.
Finding the good balance with what you have to do with your life is essentially what you got to do. And once you find that balance, it just all goes right into play.
That's how I go about it, doing whatever it takes and getting it done. Should we say like thank you, bye, or something, or like?
Okay.
Oh, good. Okay, don't laugh. Come on, come on. Wow, I was just about to hit it. All right.